think clearly if your cortisol is up, if you're
Hello, hello. How are
Hi,
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful, thank you. We'll wait one more minute and then we can get started. Did you have a good week?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good. Happy birthday. Did you
Oh,
have a
thank
good
you.
birthday?
Yeah, nothing special, but yeah.
Good, good. Birthdays are always fun to celebrate, right?
Well, like I told somebody else, it's like I try to make every day the best.
That's
So,
right. That's
yeah,
right. That's awesome. What time do you have?
it's 7:30. A little
Seven.
after.
Okay. All right. We will go ahead and get started. I will start the recording.
I think it's already recording.
It is recording. Yay, yay, yay. All right. So this is, if you can believe this is week number 3 that we're checking in. I can't even believe that we've started the
Oh,
third week
wow.
already. Yeah. So we are on our way to being a third of the way done with the JuvaFit challenge. And we are on fire, right?
On fire. Yep.
We are on fire. So this week I wanted to talk about 2 or 3 different things. First of all, if you haven't checked in, I think everyone's checked in. Did you check in, Michelle? If you haven't checked in, please check in because the team really needs the points and I'd love to see us be a winning team. And it's not really about winning, it's just about locking arms together because together we are better, right? So last night, the JuvaFit commit call, if you haven't had a chance to watch it, please do so. It was a great call, and it was about choices. And it was also about tracking. So it took the hydration and the tracking and the macros that they did the last couple of weeks and kind of brought it all together. And one of the things that I thought was really interesting was talking about how, excuse me, the people that have the most success are the ones that track the most. So make sure that you're tracking. And then there was an email that went out to us. If you did not receive it, let me know. And they gave us a place to go to do a calorie counter. And you put in your age and all sorts of other information. And it tells you how many calories a day you should be intaking in order to meet whatever goal you're going for. Excuse me. So when I did the calculation, it's at 1,800 calories. And today I ate 1,788 calories. So I'm really proud of myself that I really kind of eked it out and had the right amount of fats and carbs and nutrients. But you know, it takes a little bit when you're tracking to kind of figure this all out. So that was really fun. But last night they talked about choices. So for example, you could eat your 1,800 calories all at once if you wanted to, probably not recommended, but that if you're eating 2 or 3 meals a day and a couple of snacks a day, you can allow yourself a lot more if you're eating more vegetables. And they also talked about tracking meats. So I know for myself, Bill and I can split a pound of hamburger meat. So that's 8 ounces of protein. So maybe I shouldn't have as much protein earlier in the day, or maybe I should have it in the middle of the day. But Travis was talking about, you know, if you think you're eating a 4 ounce piece of chicken and it's really 6 or 7 ounces, now you're going to get your macros and you're going to get your calories off. So they talked about really making good choices when we feed ourselves and just doing just making good choices because the choices will get you to where you want to be. And so I thought it was a really good call last night, and it was kind of a different spin on the same stuff that they talked about, but I thought the visuals on it was fantastic. So if you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend that you watch it. They also talked about refuel, and I'm going to share my screen here because every time I look at these information sheets, I learn something new, and they change them ever so often. Can everybody see that? So refuel is keto friendly. It's the balance of protein, fiber, fat, and I'm sorry, it's been a long day today. Protein, fat, and carbs. And so what I wanted to show you was what all is in our protein shake, because I really think it's a big deal. And I know for some of you, this might be a little bit easier to read, but I was doing some research on how to manage blood pressure. And sometime when your blood pressure is off, balancing your potassium and your magnesium is important. But if you notice in the refuel, we have a little bit of potassium in those scoops. Now, granted, it does have 4 net grams of carbs, but it also has vitamin D, calcium, iron, potassium, vitamin A, vitamin C, E, K. Vitamin K and vitamin D should always be taken together to maximize that. And then I also have learned over the past few years that as we age, our bone loss starts declining. And so taking vitamin D and vitamin K together is really good. And then also magnesium, which is also really good for blood pressure. And also most of us don't get enough magnesium. So this product is an amazing product. And every time I go back and look at the nutrients, I'm like in awe of how much nutrition is in 1 or 2 scoops of the refuel. Also, it's cost effective. It costs less than any fast food meal. So if you're wanting a quick meal, you could do a couple of scoops of this in almond milk or heavy whipping cream or water. And you could even mix in some fresh blackberries, some spinach, and you would have a real nutrient dense meal, and it's very filling. I know Michelle and I went to the Juba conference a couple years ago, and we had nothing but refuel for lunch for 2 days. And we were very satisfied. We thought we were going to have to eat more because we're food people and we like to eat, don't we, Michelle? So it does have protein, healthy fat, and it does promote increased fat burning. And then the sweet cream is has healthy fats. And again, we talked last week about healthy fat. We've got coconut oil, we've got MCT oil, which is really good for the brain. And it's whey protein, not soy protein. So a lot of people are backing off from soy protein, and this is whey protein, which really has a lot of amino acids, which help build the body up while you're working out. Collagen, which is great for your joints and your skin, and then all the vitamins, minerals we talked about. So I just wanted to take a couple minutes to share that with everybody because this is really an amazing product. I know when we travel, I travel with it. I drink it in my coffee every morning. I don't drink 2 full scoops. I do 1 full scoop over 2 cups of coffee, but it's got that nice vanilla taste to it, and I just absolutely love it. So any questions so far? Okay, what I want to talk about is how are things going, ladies? How are we doing? Miss Michelle, we'll start with you this week.
Well, I traveled till Tuesday, so it was a bit of a challenge to always get my water in. We finally just picked up water bottles and kept them in the car, and I could use my alkaline drops. And overall, my eating was pretty good. It wasn't perfect because we were traveling and, celebrating some special things. So, yeah, it was good. I was able to get movement in for sure. every day. So that was a win. And I was up 2 pounds, and I'm been home 2 days and I'm down 2 pounds from the weight gain from the trip.
Right,
So yeah, that made it me at break zero, which is good because typically if I take a trip, right, I
right,
can go hog wild, but I did
right,
not.
right.
I didn't allow
You can go
myself,
hog wild, just don't go whole hog wild.
yeah, hog wild for like one meal maybe, but no, it
Right,
was pretty good. Like I did have some more carbs than I wanted, right? Like a crust on a pizza or um something like that. But yeah, it was good. I feel like I'm getting back to, like, tonight was salmon and veggies. It was great. I'm got this much water left today, so I still have a little bit too much water left, and that's just to get my minimum in. So I'm trying to get back to my hydration and
right,
tracking every day and meal prepping, and it's just hard when you
perfect,
fly in the middle of the week, you go to work, and
right,
I took
right,
Megan's approach, like what was in the cupboards? What's in the pantry? Oh, I have tuna.
right,
Tuna. I
r-
can always have tuna.
right, right. So yeah, that was a great post because they were in Tulum, Mexico last week, which is a little bit south of Cancun, and she said she came home and realized, she had no groceries in the house, so she opened up a can of tuna and
Yeah,
chopped up some carrots and, had a meal. So, you
yeah,
know,
it
it
works.
it was it was a good choice for them. So
Yeah.
awesome. Cheryl, how was your week?
Not too bad. I mean, food hasn't been terrifically on point, I guess, but I'm usually eating like tuna for lunch and just
Excellent.
whatever we can. My husband manages to put in my bag. But I was talking to him a while ago. It's like before I would be eating fast food for breakfast, fast food for lunch, and we ate out a lot.
Right.
And I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
So I feel
That's a
like I'm making progress, but the weight's not coming off. And
well,
I
but it
still have a lot of swelling, but I'm still making healthier choices. And that's my goal right now.
right. And of course you didn't gain the weight in 3 weeks, right?
No, no. And a
So,
lot of loving years there acquiring
yeah,
it.
yeah. And so sometimes we just have to be patient with ourselves, but the victory is here because you're making better choices for yourself and you seem like you're feeling better about that. Am I correct?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And those little wins, like this morning I got up, it's disgusting here already, and I'm just not ready for the heat and the
Yep.
humidity. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna walk. I'm gonna walk inside. And then I'm like, oh my God, you're a team captain. Get off your bucket. And so I took a 20-minute walk. It wasn't as long as I wanted to, but it started my day off right because I did do what I promised myself I would do. It was a choice. And I've got choices written all over pieces of paper here. Choices, choices, choices. So that was the right choice for me. And so what happened was is later on in the day, then I walked around in the house. I did my jumping jacks outside while I was waiting for Cody to find the divine place to do his thing. And I finally, and I can only Cheryl, I have a great respect for the seated jumping jacks because they are no joke.
They're tough.
And
Mhm.
I and even standing and just putting my legs, out one side and out the other side, my arms couldn't do it for a full minute until today. So after 3 days, I'm like, okay, now I can do this for a minute, but it's like, oh my gosh, I just, it seems like the easiest thing in the world to do. I was reading an article by Dr. Mercola that I had printed on my desk about blood pressure. And he was saying some of the best things you can do to keep your blood pressure in check is things like planks, wall squats, all the things that they give us to challenge us. Those are some of the best things we can do for our overall health and wellness. So it's just amazing to me. But who thought, because I'm never jumping again because I don't want to re-injure this foot. It's been too
No.
many years recovering. But, you know, who would have thought that the simple act of doing this and stepping out to one side and stepping out to the other side, my arms actually hurt. How are you doing with the jumping jacks, Michelle? You're the most athletic one.
I know
Yeah,
she was showing off a while ago.
I definitely am getting stronger, but yeah, just to get all the way up, right? The first couple days, it's like my arms are more sore than the rest of me. Like
Right.
tight shoulders. It just kind of it's a good way to
Right.
loosen everything up in the morning. But yeah,
Right.
I'm probably up to doing the actual jumping part about 20 or 30 seconds. Listen, I couldn't do 5 jumping jacks
Right.
January.
Right.
So, but then I do the step touching and it's just as challenging
It is just
with
as
the
challenging.
arms, like your whole body. It's yeah.
So what Megan and Travis said is if your arms get tired, and this is what I started out doing, then do this,
Yeah.
because at least you're getting that movement and exercising what I call the bat wings that I have.
Right.
And so at least you're getting that in too. And then I try to go back because that full range of motion is really good. Plus it elongates you, it makes you stand taller. It really builds up all the core muscles. I'm just amazed. Bill's dad married a woman, and he said what he loved most about her is that she gets up every morning and does jumping jacks at 90. So I'm thinking this morning,
Wow.
if she can freaking do it at 90,
Right.
I can do it at not 90.
Yes.
So it was just really funny. But we all start someplace. So anyways, any questions? Anybody need any help? Anybody need any support? Anybody looking for something that I'm not giving you?
No, I'm good.
So my meal prep this week, thank God I did the meal prep because I'm putting my dog down in a few days and he is a lot of work right now. And so I can't have like something that's really involved cooking because whoops, all of a sudden I now have to carry him to take him outside to do his business. So the meal prep worked out really good. So today I had fish in the freezer that I wanted to get rid of. I don't like to keep it in the freezer too long. And so I defrosted the fish. I had up my pre-chopped onions, my pre-chopped up red peppers and yellow peppers. We had the low carb tortillas and fresh lettuce, and we had fish tacos, and it was ready in about 5 minutes, and the cleanup was about 5 minutes. So I'm really trying to stay very, very committed to pre-prepping on the weekends. Although last weekend I think I got a little carried away, so this weekend I'll back off a little bit because I still have to recharge. But I'm happy this week that I'm not making bad choices and saying, ooh, now what? So so that's worked out really well for me this week. Have you guys had any wins as far as prepping food, Cheryl?
No. No. I
You'll
don't
get
know.
there.
Something happened on Sunday and I just didn't get it done. So yeah, it's just been kind of hit and miss and letting my husband do the cooking. And we did actually eat out last night. We got Whataburger, which is not a favorite place of mine, but I
Right.
did do bunless. So at least I took
Wow.
that off. And
Yeah,
it
and
was
that's
funny because
Great.
I'm like, why am I getting fries? I don't eat them. I don't like their fries. It's like, why am I getting them? So
right.
yeah. So I
Well,
realized some
sometimes,
stuff last night.
yeah, sometimes it's just a habit, and they talked about that last night too. Because I know for myself, and I think Michelle would agree, I'm an emotional eater. So
Me
when I'm
too.
stressed, the first thing I do is go to the refrigerator. And when I first started it, I put a note on the refrigerator, really?
Right.
Like, are you really hungry? Really?
Right.
And it stopped me many, many times because
Right.
sometimes you just have these habits that you're not even aware of. And when I started tracking on that carb manager app, I'm like, okay, now I see. Now I see. Because if you want to lose weight, and you're eating 3,000 or 4,000 calories a day, you're not going to lose the weight because you have to be able to burn off what you're taking in. I am reading the most amazing book. I will stop the call after this, but I had to share this.
Oh, that looks good.
So I was talking with a woman and I helped her do some things and she wanted to pay me and I said, absolutely not. So she bought me this book because she knew that I was curious about glucose and balancing things and not having too many carbs so that I can keep losing weight. And she said, you need to read this book. So she sent this to me and it's not inexpensive. It's about $30, but I'm sure you can get it on Kindle and not the physical book. But she wanted to show me an act of kindness because I was kind to her. But what this book says is that if you can flatten your glucose roller coaster, and I think I've talked about this before, and the spikes and the starts and the stops and the starts and the stop, and you can flatten that curve, then everything will fall into place and everything about your health will fall into place. So what they said was, and this woman at 19 years of age, she was in a freak accident. She went to Hawaii with some of her friends and they did a cliff dive. And her friend said, make sure that when you do a cliff dive, that you go feet first and go straight down, right? Straight down. So at the very end, she clenched and she broke every vertebra in her spine.
Oh my God.
So she gained weight because what do you do when you're in pain? You sit and somebody feeds you and you can't move and all that kind of thing. So she was a biologist, I believe. I'm not recalling completely, but she has some background in science. And so she dove deep into the woods on glucose. And what I did not know is that when you eat carbs or a starch, like some starches are better for you than other starches. We've talked about that with resistant starch foods like sweet potatoes are better than potatoes. And when you do that, your body turned that glucose into glycogen. And then the glycogen, listen to this, is processed first through your liver. Secondly, is processed in your muscles is stored in your liver, is stored in your muscles. And then thirdly, is stored in your fat cells. And so she described it as if you get on a coal train and the delivery guy says, okay, I've got my ton of coal. And you say, thank you very much. And you sign off for it. And so now you've got a ton of coal for your train to run on, right? Your choo-choo train. And then you only use maybe a fourth of that coal. And the next day they deliver another ton of coal. And you're like, wait a second, I don't need it. And they said, well, we're sorry, but it's on the delivery. And so she gave this very graphic description about this train that had so much coal in the engine that it couldn't move and the engineer couldn't shovel it in. And so she said, when you're eating your food, think about where you're storing all of this food in your body and if you're able to burn it up, because when you burn it up, it starts in your liver and you have to burn through all the coal, the starches and everything else before you get to fat burning mode. I thought that was just the most divine explanation I'd ever heard of choices like what Megan and Travis were talking about last night, and about how to really envision, okay, is this food going to nourish me? Is it going to overload my liver? Because a lot of people have liver disease and they're not alcoholics, but it's due to choices of food. So it's a really, really great book. If you get a chance to order it, order it. It's called The Glucose Revolution by Jesse. I don't know how to pronounce that last name.
Huh.
But to hear her story about, you know, like similar to mine, I mean, I had a traumatic brain injury, but at least I could kind of get up and stagger. I mean, she couldn't walk and she had to learn how to re-walk. She had surgery. She was afraid she was going to die at 19. I mean, it's an amazing story, but sometimes we get to those points in our lives where we're like, enough, something has to change. And I think we're all three there. So any questions?
Mm-mm.
Okay, you guys, let's get on fire.
Staying on the train. Staying on the train. Woo.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
off the train, I don't feel so great. So
Well, and that's a good analogy also. You know, let's keep our train engines running at optimal speed and not overtax it so that we can keep moving. And congratulations to everybody for their wins, because everybody's having wins right now. And it doesn't matter what your win is compared to somebody else's. If everybody's winning, then we're all winning together, right?
right.
Absolutely.
So Michelle can jump.
Not very much, but a little bit.
Carol and
A lot of
Melissa
my
cannot,
fat is
but
bobbing around when I jump, but I can do
but
it.
we have our wins, you know, and I pushed to that minute this afternoon. I was like, oh, I want to get to the minute of jumping jacks. And so now I'm thinking, this is something that I need to keep doing, not just the week on the challenge, but something I need to keep doing because
Mhm.
I feel it in every part of my body. And
Right,
I feel it whether I'm sitting or standing.
right.
So it's an amazing thing. So you guys have a great week. I'm always here for you. Reach out to me if you have any questions or if you're in a funk or whatever, need cooking ideas. I'm like getting a wild hair with new recipes now. So
Share when you want to then, because
I
we
will.
get
I'm
in
getting
our ruts
bored.
and we're gonna be boxing everything up and I need quick and easy.
I can't wait. I can't wait. She's
Excited.
coming back to the USA, Cheryl.
I'm
Oh,
moving to the US
yay.
in six weeks. My God, I have a lot to do. I'm
Oh, awesome.
being sore. Yeah, we're excited. We've loved our time in Canada, but we're moving, the company is moving us back, and I'm a stress eater. And the last time I moved, I think I mentioned this on the chat, 15 pounds I put on. That's not going to happen. So if I break
No,
even,
it's not.
just even lose 5, I'm going to consider that a huge win because I'm a
Absolutely.
stress eater and I can pick up quick food and make it healthy, right? Like there's things I can do. Choices.
Choices.
I'm gonna put that on my fridge, the sticky note. Really?
Right.
Really? Do you remember how
Well,
you
I mean,
felt
it's a
after
great
your last
reminder, you know,
vacation?
sometimes like I work upstairs and my and the food is downstairs, thank God, because the food used to be like 5 steps from me. And so that was just bad. And so, you know, I put reminders, you know, like I have something on the way down to the staircase, you know, like, really? Really? Are you
Right?
hungry?
Right.
Or do you have to pee?
You know, I'm really thinking about where I want my office to be in the house. Like if I have it upstairs, it'll be away from the kitchen.
That's right. That's right.
So,
And I moved mine upstairs just because I could see it every place I was in the first floor. And it's like, I didn't want to see work
right.
24/7. So, yeah.
Right. Mhm.
All right. We can do this, ladies. I know we can. I'm so proud of everybody. I'm happy that everybody's having their little wins and keep
Mhm.
at it. Keep at it.
All right. Cheers to a good week, ladies.
Yay.
Love you
Bye.
guys.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.